South Florida, this is Headliners, only on CBS News Miami.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Headliners. I'm Elliot Rodriguez. We begin with the story of a former U.S. ambassador arrested and charged with working for the Cuban government over a number of decades. Cuban spies can operate in the U.S. as members of the Cuban Washington diplomatic staff, members of the Cuban UN delegation, or among Cuban immigrants arriving here. Sometimes university students and faculty that appear friendly to the Cuban Revolution are recruited. As CBS News Miami's Hank Tester reports, Victor Manuel Rocha's arrest reminds us of the history of Cuban spies in South Florida.
Broadcast out of Havana, a radio station sending coded messages to North America, called a numbers station. Who's listening? Cuban spies, Cuban operatives in the U.S., and there's lots of them. Guy Lewis, former United States attorney.
There's been a long-standing presence of spies and espionage here in the United States directed by and on behalf of the Cuban government.
Cuba peddled secrets. Foreign actors such as Russia and China, who operate spy listening posts on the island, and to Iran. Notable as former U.S. diplomat Victor Manuel Rocha was arrested, accused of being a Cuban spy for 4 decades, Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel was arriving in Iran, meeting with top officials. They, too, are consumers of Cuban intelligence gathering.
They bartered it. They sold it. They used it to establish relationships.
And the Cubans are good at it, regarded by government and private security experts as the best on-the-ground espionage operation in the world. Peter Lapp, former FBI agent, arrested Ana Belén Montes, Cuba's super spy.
Cuba is so good at penetrating the U.S. government, unfortunately.
And there's a big history of Cuban espionage in South Florida. Most prominent, September 1998, FBI, the takedown of the WASP network. 27 operatives and spies who'd infiltrated a number of Cuban exiles organizations. Cuban agents in that group involved in engineering the Cuban Air Force shoot-down of 2 small planes operated by Brothers to the Rescue, who helped save thousands of Cuban rafters in the Straits of Florida. 3 U.S. citizens and a permanent U.S. resident died in the incident.
That caused the U.S. government not to get closer to Cuba, and that helped Castro stay in power.
During the 1996 Brothers to the Rescue shoot-down crisis, the Cubans had their super spy, Ana Belén Montes, embedded in the Defense Intelligence Agency and the Pentagon. And the recently arrested Victor Manuel Rocha was stationed inside the U.S. interest section in Havana, both allegedly reporting to the Cuban intelligence service.
I mean, I hate to do it, but credit the Cuban government for being a step ahead of us.
One of the targets of the WASP network was South Command, the U.S. military headquarters in Doral, which oversees U.S. military operations in the Caribbean, Central and South America. The WASP network could never penetrate, but the most recent accused spy, former U.S. diplomat Victor Manuel Rocha, did.
This gentleman here in Southcom, very, very disturbing information.
It's believed that over the years there have been a number of spies in and around the Miami area, including 2 FIU professors. 2006, husband and wife Carlos Alvarez and his wife Elsa admitted spying for the Castro government for 30 years.
But certainly a lot of folks that have conspired with Cuba against the United States from an intelligence perspective and a policy perspective.
As the case unfolds against Rocha, a 40-year veteran of government service, we'll learn way more about how Cuban spies have operated in our backyard. I'm Hank Tester, CBS News, Miami.
A major break in the case for Broward Sheriff's deputies. Investigators make an arrest in connection with a 25-year-old cold case, and police did not need to go very far to find their man. CBS News Miami's Joe Murray takes a closer look at the case.
911, 911 Police Fire Medical Rescue.
Yeah, I found a dead body out here off of 27.
It was a mystery for 25 years. An unidentified woman brutally raped and murdered, left for dead off US 27 in Southwest Broward.
Probably the most tragic thing about this case is that we don't know who she is.
But through advances in DNA technology, Broward Sheriff detectives have identified the woman as Eileen Trupner.
It really is just very fortunate that we were able to take advantage of the science that we have now. FDLE assisted us with doing the genealogy and that component, which is new emerging technology that's going to give us a lot more results on these type of cases.
Not only did the new technology identify the victim, but Broward Sheriff Gregory Toney said they have been able to identify her killer, Lucius Boyd, a convicted murderer, rapist, and suspected serial killer who is now on death row. It's unclear how Boyd crossed paths with Eileen Trupner.
She was a good person, and not only that, she was a professional. She worked in Puerto Rico.
Trupner's surviving sister said Eileen suffered from postpartum depression, lost custody of her children. Her disappearance shattered her family.
She no deserved to die the way she died, brutalized, killed, sexualized, and she no deserved it. And even though they have the person in jail, that person gonna get justice, and that's why we want justice for Eileen.
And this is now case 21, of which we've been able to solve, whether it been a homicide or a rapist who was out in our community creating harm, and we're delighted that we can expand that number to 21.
21, and it won't be the last. Cold cases are being worked on every day here at the Broward Sheriff's Office. As for Lucius Boyd, he is on death row. He was indicted by a grand jury for this murder just days ago, and his case will have to wind its way through the court system. Near Fort Lauderdale, Joan Murray, CBS News, Miami.
A woman from Massachusetts was killed in a shark attack near a popular tourist spot in the Bahamas. The victim was nearly a mile from shore when she was bitten. There have been several other shark incidents in the region in recent months. CBS News correspondent Errol Barnett has more, and we warn you, some of the information is graphic.
Shark being out here and eat the woman.
It was a frightening scene near the Sandals Beach Resort in Nassau, Bahamas, Monday morning. Police say a 44-year-old woman from Boston died after she was bitten by a shark while paddleboarding less than a mile offshore.
A lifeguard on duty who saw what was happening went out in a rescue boat, retrieved the victim along with a male relative, and brought them to safety.
But it was already too late. Royal Bahamas police say the woman suffered fatal injuries to her right hip and arm.
They thoroughly assessed the victim, and they declared that she showed no vital signs of life.
There have been several shark attacks in the Bahamas over the past year. In June, an attack on a scuba diving woman from Iowa resulted in her leg being amputated. And last year, another American tourist was killed while snorkeling. In 2022, there were more than 100 reported shark encounters worldwide, 9 of which were fatal. But experts we spoke with insist shark attacks are rare.
Now you're looking at 1 in 10 to 13 million are the odds of an interaction with a shark. So when you think about the millions of people that are in the water around the world each day and the millions of sharks that are in the water, it's statistically highly, highly unlikely.
Errol Barnett, CBS News.
When we come back, South Florida is growing like never before. See why Legos may be the key to cutting construction costs for all those people.
From South Florida, this is Headliners, only on CBS News Miami.
Welcome back. I'm Elliot Rodriguez, only on CBS News Miami. What could be the future of construction as South Florida expands faster than ever before? Stronger, more resilient buildings put together, similar to the building blocks we used to create as children. CBS News Miami's Keith Jones shows you how it's done and what it'll cost.
Most of us, at one time or another, have played with Legos. For many kids, it's a staple of playtime, creating, building, erecting an entire neighborhood or city. Would you believe the basic concept of the Lego is the literal building block of the construction industry's newest technology.
We're building adult-sized Legos to build adult-sized homes.
No joke, Ken Smuts, president of Red & Co. Construction, brought the renewable composite Lego idea back from a visit to Turkey. He put it through the rigors of insurance industry testing for wind, fire, and water ratings.
We did our impact testing for Miami-Dade County, and we reached our approvals through Tallahassee. But when you do that, we've tested this up to a failure point of over 250 miles per hour wind. A typical concrete block that's not reinforced breaks in compression at about 1,600 psi. This block breaks at 16,000 psi, 10 times as strong. We don't have to use tools. We don't have to use heavy equipment. And the building literally flies up. 8 men, 8 weeks to build one of these buildings.
And building is like, well, the timeless kids' toys.
So what you do is you pour a concrete slab, and then we have a starter plate you put in the concrete, and this gets put right on top. The glue actually creates a chemical bond which is stronger than the material itself.
Link some giant-sized Legos, and you get this. A 96-unit apartment complex in Palm Beach County, 20% less expensive than traditional construction, and the savings could eventually drive down insurance rates.
We've seen rates in the building process 40% lower for builder's risk insurance.
It's a simple, toy-like concept turned into a renewable composite interlocking system, which could be the first transformational approach to construction in more than 100 years. Keith Jones, CBS News, Miami.
Well, there are new free rides roaming downtown Miami. Those behind it think their shuttle could take care of anyone complaining about long walks to work or home, and it could potentially patch holes in the county's transportation system. CBS News Miami's Larry Seward explains.
It looks like your average South Florida freebie, but those marked Miami-Dade hold expectations to change how you get around downtown and perhaps beyond.
We want to move as many as we can. We're starting with this, and I don't know where we're going, but this is a good start.
City Commissioner Manolo Reyes chairs Miami's Downtown Development Authority, who partnered with Freebie to run electric-powered shuttles with room for at least 5 people. They roam downtown 11 to 13 hours a day, 7 days a week. It is a fixed route marked with a black dotted line on city maps. It passes parking hotspots, Government Center, and Biscayne Boulevard's brightest lights.
It's a good thing when you are a tourist. It's perfect.
Reyes expects residents and downtown workers to benefit most. Long-term, he expects long walks to and from the bus or parking lots to be history. This comes as the county offers free bus fares for its Better Bus network until the end of the year. It changed schedules for 26 routes and discontinued 33 others, including the 115 Mid-North Beach connector in Miami Beach.
It's not good for the workers. All of these people got out at 4 o'clock.
I need a bus, please. I need bus. Please, no take the bus.
As riders complained in October, Miami-Dade County's then Assistant Director of Transportation, Carlos Cruz Casas, told CBS News Miami that Metro hoped to partner with strong on-demand transportation services like Freebie to fill gaps in service. Reyes thinks his pilot program could help squash wait times.
No more than 10, 15 minutes, and no more than that. Could be faster.
The shuttle is just a week old, but already wait times for passengers are off the mark. We called for a ride at 7:04. No one showed up, and we had enough time to catch the people mover ride to Government Square. Just as we arrived, our app told us our driver is prepared to pick us up. It was a 28-minute wait. That's twice as long as DeAndre Whipple spends waiting for buses downtown.
Honestly, I feel like that's a little bit too much of a wait time, though. Should be there at least like 5 or 10 minutes.
So far, downtown's fleet includes 3 shuttles, 4 if you count the Tesla that gave us a ride.
We get an information, and if we have to tweak it here, tweak it there, it will be tweaked to make it as efficient as possible.
Reyes is confident service will improve and perhaps become a model Metro and other communities copy. In downtown Miami, Larry Seward, CBS News, Miami.
When we come back, see how you can make it a holiday season to remember for a South Florida family that might have to otherwise go without. Next.
From South Florida, this is Headliners, only on CBS News Miami.
Welcome back to our show. I'm Elliot Rodriguez. It's the holiday season, a time of joy for many of us, but rising costs can easily put a damper on the holidays for families in need. So, Neighbors for Neighbors has partnered with 39 nonprofits to identify families that could use some help this holiday season. CBS News Miami's Chelsea Jones spoke to one of those families and shares how you can provide gifts they can't get for themselves.
Isaiah is a straight A student. He's always on the honor roll. He's very intelligent and able to, as well as doing well in school. He's in the ROTC program and he enjoys it and loves it.
Since retirement, Norma Rodriguez has taken on a role she knows well, motherhood. She adopted her 9-year-old grandson, Isaiah.
The mother side, she had issues with drugs. So therefore, I had to get him out of the system. He was in the system. He's also my son's little boy. My son was incarcerated at the time.
She's working on doing the same thing for her other grandson, Abel.
I feel that children need to be loved, whether they're your children or not.
Children are her passion, so while life has thrown her what she calls curveballs, she wouldn't trade it for the world.
I enjoy every moment of it. I have no regrets. I could grow old with them.
The simple things like playing these board games or breakfast in the morning make it worth it. But this holiday season, this family of 3 could use your help.
Me being the only one providing for them, right now we live in a 1-bedroom apartment. It'd be nice to get into a 3-bedroom so they each can have their own room.
They are one of hundreds of families a part of the Adoptive Family for the Holidays program, where you could donate gifts to families in need. And if you picked Norma,
from the bottom of my heart, you know, that would be so much joy to us.
There are over 200 families in need of this kind of help. So if you want to spread some holiday cheer and adopt one of the families, you have until December 17th to do so. Just head to neighborsforneighbors.org. In Dania Beach, I'm Chelsea Jones, CBS News, Miami.
We here at CBS News Miami like to get in the Christmas spirit by sharing community lights. And in this case, the light was shared by the City of Miami Police Department. Imagine getting pulled over, but instead of getting a ticket, you get a gift card. Not a bad deal. CBS News Miami's photojournalist, Ralph Murciano, has more on the sweet surprise.
What we're doing today is we go out there and we're doing traffic enforcement, which is one of our main components of what the Miami Police Department does, keeping our community safe. How you doing? I'm Chief Morales from the City of Miami Police. But as we stop motorists, recognizing them and letting them know, hey, listen, you did X violation. However, we're spreading some joy and giving some positive reinforcement.
If you promise not to use your phone while you're driving, we're going to give you a gift card, $100, so you can spend this Christmas season. Courtesy of the Miami Police Department.
We're out here to make sure that everybody's safe, that has a great holiday season. Let's take an opportunity and use a little bit of our spare time to kind of spread some joy in our community.
I don't know how to react right now. I'm like shocked. All I did was made a right, and I saw a hand to pull over, and I'm like, what did I do?
Maybe they'll get a ticket, 1, 2, 3, or maybe 4 tickets, but to the Christmas Wonderland at Tropical Park where they can enjoy with their families, or $100 gift certificates that we're going to be giving away, gift cards that we'll be giving away today. So just to remind everyone to drive safe and have an awesome Feliz Navidad and happy holidays.
What a great idea. Thanks for joining us this half hour on Headliners. And as always, keep it right here to CBS News Miami for up-to-the-minute breaking news and weather 24 hours a day. Make it a great day.